Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I am doing a new skin tint review. I've already put this on for my month of August, the face of the month, and I actually already shot this, but the lighting was really bad and I thought, you know what, I'm going to shoot it again. So this is day 1 of 2. I'm going to come back in several hours and show you how it's holding up. I'm not sure when, I'm not sure what's on my calendar today, my agenda today. It is Sunday, it is the holiday weekend, and it's going to be very hot. It's going to be like 95, and I was thinking maybe I should just lean into it and take Lucy out for a walk in the heat and just sweat, which would really be a good test for this, but we'll see what happens. What are we doing? We're doing the YSL NU. The real name is Bare Look Tint, and I got the shade 7, and it's interesting. This is $38 for 1 fluid ounce, which is a very fair price. It's middle of the road for Sephora, but for a high-end brand, it's really something. It's a plastic too. You can see the color up here, and it's a squeezy, which I don't mind, but I'm the kind of person where I know how many pumps I'm going to use. Most of my foundation's 2 pumps. With something like this, it's like, let's see. So there could be some waste involved, unless you just put out a little and just come out again. All right, you can see that this is fairly stiff, right? It's not moving too fast or too much, but the texture is really, really interesting. The minute you touch it, it becomes more watery in its nature. There's a lot of skincare that does this now. I've already done my sunscreen and my, moisturizers and all that stuff. This might not be enough, but let's see. And I'm going to use fingertips today. It is my preferred method for applying foundation. I just like it better. I don't know, I just like the tactile nature of it. Tomorrow we will do a brush on one side and a beauty blender on the other side, but today we are doing my preferred method. Anyway, then it becomes kind of watery. It's so interesting. It feels a little bit cooling on the skin, which I really appreciate today because I can feel that heat building. And my sunscreens have been on for probably 10 or 15 minutes. So they have settled in. And it's blending in fine. Around the nose is always problematic because there's so many curves. But it's not really that bad. Now they're calling this a buildable skin tint for every skin type. I mean, everybody wants to do every skin type, but I can tell you that I feel that there's more coverage here than a skin tint. I mean, to me, skin tint just means a little something, a little color to even you out, maybe, but I feel like I'm actually getting coverage here. And now I feel like the light is kind of changed. Like there's a light coming from here and there's actually not. I'm going to do white balance because I made the mistake of not doing that with my Chanel video. And I'll be back. There we go. I think this is a little bit better. So now you get a better sense of what the color is. I do have different lighting set up today because it's so hot. I don't have my door all the way open. It's just like opening an oven. Like, why would I do that? So I just have my door open a foot just to let in a little bit of sunlight. And I'm going to let this set up. And then we'll come back and do some cream products. And then tomorrow we'll do powder products. I always put on my foundation first and then I go into eyes. And while I have the eyes going on, this has time to attach to the skin, to shake hands. How do you do? I'm going to be on your face for 8 hours. And it's the way I've always done my makeup. I'm going to do my eyes. I'll be back in a minute and we'll do some creams. All right, you guys, I've just quickly done my eyes, a kind of a one and done look. And while I was doing that, in my mirror, I'm thinking it looks a little smeary up here. It's not quite doing so well. So I'm going to go in and be much more aggressive. Is this Sept now? Kind of, but I'm also sweating a little bit. So I think it's going to be fine. The first time I did this video, I noticed this much earlier, And I am reminded, because I didn't watch that again, that I went in really aggressive with my hands. But the first time I did this, it was a lot worse. It was so obvious that it wasn't blending well. And this time it wasn't as obvious. And it wasn't until I did my eyes when I realized, oh, yeah, I had a problem last time. So now I'm just going to do what I did the first time. I haven't missed any of the coverage, I don't think, but it's blended in much, much better. So to recap, when I first did this video, it just wasn't laying right, and I went very aggressively with the hands rather than what you saw me do when I applied this, which is what I normally do. So it's something that you really just have to work for. Now, for cream blush, I thought we'd look at a Lisa Eldridge, and because my eyes are very neutral, I think I want a little color for the cheeks. And there is pink poetry, but I think I'm going to go for a Venetian red, and if it's not doing it for me, then I will just put some pink poetry on. No problem at all. I think I do want to do some pink poetry, but first let's do a little bit of bronzer. My cream bronzer of choice is always the Tarte Seashells, and this is the mini one. I've had it since it came out, and I have not hit pan. That's how little I use, and also how much I love it. I like to use this with a beauty blender. This one I didn't dampen because I didn't think ahead, but that's okay. Put some on, take off the excess, and be really kind of ginger. I've also put this on with a brush before. It is still summer here. I know in many places it's like they're beginning to feel fall. For us, we usually get an Indian summer. Oh my God. Oh no. This is the bottom of the Lisa Eldridge blush. You know what I'm going to do, you guys? This is really, I'm squeezing it out of the bottom, and I'm going to put some on my lips. I do like the color. Now, while I was washing my hands, I got my beauty blender damp, and I just blended in my bronzer a little bit more. I have to say, this really reminds me, formula-wise, of Lancome's Skin So Good. I had that. I had it in 2 colors because the color selection was not so good, and I've since have thrown them away because I had them for a couple of years. And I feel like this color, even though it seemed yellow initially, it's pretty darn good for me. It feels cooling. It feels very, very much texture-wise like the Lancome Skin feels good. I have gotten it to blend very well. It worked well with this cream. It worked well with the bronzing cream. It's working fine with the Lancome Tint Adele Concealer. And what else should I do? A little contour? If you insist. This is the Charlotte Tilbury wand. And I'm going to give it a go with this brush from Rougher. It's not that stiff, but it's doing the job. And then I like to pull up. I think that may have lifted some of my foundation. Let me try it with the beauty blender on the other side. Because it seems to me that I can see some sun damage that I couldn't before. Now this could be a function of how the foundation and my sunscreen are working together. Or it could just be, don't use a brush. Don't use a brush with this particular product this particular contour, and yeah, I'm just like seeing this, I'm seeing this. I'm not sure if I could see those before. So fail with the brush, fine with the Beauty Blender. The Beauty Blender is just not as aggressive. Now I still want something a little more pink, but instead of going into Pink Poetry, I'm going into Clé de Peau. This is the color 4 Peach, and it's really become a go-to for me. I love the texture, I love the color. I have nothing but good things to say about this particular product. I did put on more than I usually do, but I don't even really feel like I need to blend it. I'm just going to go around the edges with the Beauty Blender and give myself a little bit of shine going in with Westman Atelier. I love the way this smells and feels. And there you have it. So this is day 1. I'm going to open the door so you can see the full effect and show you the entire face. Ta-da! See what a huge difference the natural light is? It's amazing. So I think that it looks great. There is a sheen to my face. It doesn't bother me. I don't think it's too shiny, so I'm inclined not to powder. So I'm just going to move you in, and we can take a look at what's going on. Compare this side to this side. I think this was a fail with the brush. This is fine over here. The forehead, where it looked like it just wasn't blending very well. Everywhere else, it looked fine. And now going to do a little powder just so you can see. I'm going to do right here, whatever's left under the eyes, and a little on the forehead. Looks fabulous. I'm going to pull you in again, and we'll do it again. The forehead, well, I didn't do anything here, so pretty much the forehead, right through here, and right through here, I put a drop of powder. So I do think that it looks very pretty. It just might be a little bit fussy with the fingers, with my skincare and my sunscreen. Be back later on today to see what the end result will be. Hey you guys, I'm back. It is almost 10 o'clock. So it remains comfortable. It's not a question of comfort. And you know, earlier I had powdered this, and I said the shininess will be back because this isn't a very mattifying powder. I've used this powder for 4 years, and I feel like it kind of mattified me a little bit. Not so much here. It was really hot today, you guys. It was 100 degrees. I didn't do anything, and I did take a nap on this side of my face. But I feel like I still have coverage. In fact, I am going to go get my micellar water and take off in front of you, and you can see how much coverage I still have. Cotton pads. I hate these cotton pads. I ran out of mine. We're just going to do half the face. And you can see this foundation is still on. Now it doesn't claim that it's long wearing, but let me think. It's been on for about 10 hours. God, this is so rough that it actually hurts. But you can see what's going on here, right? So we're going to try tomorrow with a brush and with a Beauty Blender, but I wanted to give you an idea of how long this stays on your face. It stays on for some time. The coverage isn't as much as it was when I first put it on, certainly, but it was very hot. And it is called a tint. I think it's not a tint, I think it's a foundation. It's just an unusual foundation. And yeah, it was 100% comfortable all day long. And it did mattify pretty decently with that powder, which kind of surprised me. All right, that is wrap up for day 1. Boom, we're going to be up with day 2. Welcome to day 2. Say that really fast. Welcome to day 2. A little hard for me. So today I'm going to do Beauty Blender on one side, and I'm going to do a brush on the other side. So let's start with a brush. Foundation here, and then you pick up with a brush. And of course, most of the foundation is now in this brush. I'm just going to stipple it. And then sweet. I mean, it's a fast application, that's for sure. I've been outside doing some cleaning in the yard and got a little sweaty, and after several days of weather that's on the cooler side, which I was totally enjoying, I think we're going back to the heat. So I'm a little red today. So yeah, I feel that this application is fine. There's no streaks from the brush, but there's definitely less coverage. I can see more redness right here than I think I saw the other day, yesterday. I'm just going to pull a little bit down. 1/2 with the brush, 1/2 nothing. The coverage is still good though. Now with the Beauty Blender, I'm just going to pick it up, whereas, I don't know, you could also just dot it on your face and then go in with the Beauty Blender. It's just this texture is strange. And I feel like I got absolutely zero coverage with this application. Look at that. Wait, I need some more. Wow. I'm going to dot on the forehead and then do Beauty Blender. No. This is how, if you really, really want hardly any coverage, this is how you get it. I'm just going to build. I need to make that nose even so you don't see the line straight down my face. Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, if you use more, which is what you have to do when you use a Beauty Blender, as far as I'm concerned, you can get them even. And yeah. As usual, I want to go ahead and do my eyes, and then I will come back and we'll do some powder products. Alright you guys, the eyes are done. Let's go in with some powders. So, I'm thinking I'm going to start with blush. Makeup by Mario. This is the mauve color. I just want a kind of a mellow look today. I'm taking my Chikuhodo blush brush, and I have not powdered my face. And there's a little bit of pull. I did put on some concealer, and it feels like actually it's pulling more right up here, and that could be actually concealer that it's doing that with. Teeny bit of pull. Looks great. Looks great. Now let's do a little bronzer, shall we? I am going in with this. This is by Sept. It's called Chaleur. Same brush. I just wiped it off. And this is actually blush that I bought as a blush, and I thought, oh, you know what? This is good color for bronzer for me, because it's just light. The Septs are very finely milled. They're beautiful, beautiful blushes. And a little bit pull over here. So maybe I should have waited a few minutes longer, but again, there's no problems with powder at all, and I have not powdered my face, which is fabulous. You know what? I'm going to go in with my Kosas powder, even though I don't think I need to powder. I don't like to shine right here. I think it emphasizes this neo, I can't remember what this line is. People call it marionette, but it's not marionette. It's something else that's hard for me to pronounce. And just get under the eyes at the same time. And I do feel a little bit of pull. So this is like many of my foundations, really, where they don't feel dry to the touch. It's not a matte foundation, and that makes sense, but it's totally workable for sure. Brows and lips, and I'll be back for a final look. I know it's not about the look, but I'm halfway there. I'm 3/4 of the way there. I may as well. Back in a flash. And voila! I am using the Bite Soft Matte in Sesame, which I find is a very nice matte color. Very mellow kind of look today. Pretty easy. Of course, I have some sheen. I don't feel like I need some highlighter with this. And no problems at all using powders. Again, it's super comfortable. I don't even know if I need to do a third day on this because I've given you 3 applications. I love the way it looks. It looks very skin-like. It feels very comfortable. The coverage is certainly buildable. Works well with creams. Works well with powder. And works well with the Lancome concealer, which I have no idea. There it is. Right there. And I think this is a great little foundation. Tint. I don't know why they're calling it tint. I will be back around 3 o'clock or so, and we'll take a look at what's going on. All right, you guys, it's almost 4 o'clock, and I took a nap. I was working outside and sweating a little bit, and still, I think this looks so nice. Now, because I did sweat a little bit, I am seeing a little bit of right here. It's nothing to get excited about, but it looks a little better on this side than this side, but it still remains, it just has that no makeup look. I haven't checked my makeup. I did put on some lipstick, and I have worn my mask, my wask. I've worn my mask. I ate something, and I felt something on my face, probably from cleaning in the garden, like dirt on my face at some point, so I kind of did this more than once today, and yet it's still there. They're not saying it's long wear, and I'm not saying it's long wear, but I don't really feel like I need to come back for a 3rd day wear test. I think it's a very good price for a very good product. I really, really like it. And I used it today with the Tint Idole concealer, and I think I've told you everything else that I did today because you saw it. So I think I'm just going to do 2 days because I've got nothing else to offer. You know, the texture, you can feel it. I don't know if that is about my sunscreen, my skincare, but it doesn't bother me. It might bother you. I'm sure if you powdered it, you wouldn't feel it as much. Whoops. It's so dark, you guys. It's like there's light in the sky, but there is no light out here. So I really don't like shooting this late because I just haven't been able to master how to make it look good, and it looks so incredibly different than what it looks like when the sun is hitting my backyard and bouncing back in here. So yeah, I don't want to talk too much. You guys, that is going to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be smart, be safe, and I'm wishing you good health.